Trails of blood ran down her cheeks, some of it mixing with the golden strands of her long, blonde hair, and a lot of it soaking into the ground around her. She had been pretty, once. "Looks like he was really pissed this time, Chief. Bit like the first victim, I'd say." Detective Mallory Beck made the observation dryly, seemingly unmoved by the gory scene before them. Rafe looked at her, reading the truth in her tightened lips and grim eyes. But all he said was, "Am I wrong, or did this one fight him?" Mallory consulted her notebook. "Doc just did the preliminary, of course, but he says she tried. Defensive injuries on the victim's hands, and one stab wound in her back, which the doc says was probably the first injury." Shifting his gaze to the body, Rafe said, "In the back?" So she was trying to turn, or run, away from him when he stabbed her the first time. And either he turned her around so he could finish her face to face, or she turned herself, trying to fight him. "Looks like it. And only a few hours ago. We got the call on this one earlier than the others. The doc estimates the time of death is around 5:30 this morning." "Awfully early to be up and out," Rafe commented. "Caleb opens his office between 9:30 and 10 as a rule. She was still his paralegal, right?" "Right. Normally went to the office around 9, so she was out very early. What I don't get is how he was able to lure her this far away from the road. You can see there are no drag marks and 2 sets of footprints. We have good casts, by the way. So she walked out here with him. I'm no Daniel Boone, but I'd say from her tracks that she was walking calm and easy, not struggling or hesitating at all." Rafe had to admit that the ground here looked remarkably calm and undisturbed, for the most part, especially considering the violence of what had been done to the victim. And after last night's rain, all the tracks were easily visible. So this murder scene, like the last one, clearly illustrated what had happened here. From all appearances, 26-year-old Tricia Kane had gotten out of her own car around dawn at an unofficial rest stop off a normally busy 2-lane highway, and then walked with a companion, male, according to all likelihood, as well as an FBI profile, about 50 yards into the woods to this clearing. And then the companion had killed her. Brutally. "Maybe he had a gun," Rafe suggested, thinking aloud. "Or maybe the knife was enough to keep her docile until they got this far." Mallory frowned. "You want my hunch? I say she didn't see that knife until they reached this clearing. The instant she saw it, she tried to run. That's when he got her." Rafe didn't know why, but that was his hunch, too. And it's the same way he got the other 2. Somehow he persuaded these women to leave their cars and walk calmly into the woods with him. Smart, savvy women who, from all accounts, were way too careful to let any stranger get that close. Which means they probably knew him. Even if, would you leave your car and just stroll into the woods with some guy, especially if you knew 2 other women had recently died under similar circumstances? No, but I'm a suspicious cop. Mallory shook her head. Still, it doesn't make sense. And what about the cars? All 3 women just left their cars on pull-off rest areas beside fairly busy highways and walked away from them. Keys in the ignition, for Christ's sake. And not many do that even in small towns these days. And we don't know whether he was with them when they stopped or somehow flagged them down and then persuaded them to come with him. No tracks out at the rest stop to speak of, with all that hard dirt and packed gravel. Maybe he pulled a Bundy and claimed to need their help. Could be. Although I still say that would have worked loads better if they knew who was asking. This guy isn't killing strangers. I think the profilers got that one right, Chief." With a sigh, Rafe said, "Yeah, me too. I hate like hell the idea that this bastard is local rather than some insane stranger passing through town, but I don't see any other way to explain how he's getting these women to go with him." Unless he's some kind of authority figure, they'd be inclined to